Okay, now you have learned that your annotated bibliography, your ethnography, and your media project all require APA format. And if you've never done APA before and you've not heard of it, you may be wondering to yourself, what is APA and how is it different from MLA? So you will have to do an activity, creating a Venn diagram where you look at the differences between MLA and APA. They are two different documentation styles, and they both require the same thing. If you use someone else's words, thoughts, or ideas, you must document them inside the text. For MLA, it looks a little bit differently than, for APA, it looks a little bit differently than MLA. So if you click on the APA presentation here in Moodle, this presentation gives you a very quick overview of APA. There's a lot more involved in APA, so you will need to refer to your textbook. Purdue OWL is a great resource for you to use. This is just a great way to expose you to something else. When you go back to your four-year colleges or you go to a four-year college, depending on what courses you take, you may be required to use APA. So here's just a little quick rundown for you. APA requires a title page. So for your ethnography, you will have to have a title page, an abstract, the main body of your ethnography, a reference page, and an appendix. For the annotated bibliography, I just want you to have the bibliographic citations in APA format. And we'll discuss that a little bit later. So when you're doing your ethnography and you're looking at in-text citations, if you notice the first bullet point on this slide, it is exactly like MLA. If you direct quote, paraphrase, or summarize, you have to have in-text citation. Now, for APA, because APA is associated with the social sciences in particular, they're very concerned about dates because information from 1990 about the way we treat ADHD, if you're looking at psychology, is different than the way ADHD is treated in 2016. So dates are important. So if you look at the example right here, it says Martinez, 2015. So you put the author's last name, just like MLA. If there is no author, then you would put the title of the work and the publication year. And it's listed for all sources. Now, let's say that you put Renee Martinez stated that ADHD can be treated with medication as well as nutrition supplements or something of that nature, changing your diet. So right after you put Martinez, you would put parentheses 2015. So their internal documentation does not go at the end of the sentence like MLA. APA documentation goes directly after the author's last name. So it looks a little weird if you're used to MLA, but if you think about it, it makes sense because Martinez is who stated it. It was stated in 2015. So if I have Martinez in my sentence to vary sentence structure, then it would make sense to have the date directly behind it. So that's something that's a little bit different. Also, if you're using a print sources, they use page numbers. But since most of you will be getting your information from internet sources, we'll just focus on dates. If you do use a print source, please research how to do it correctly because points will be deducted if you don't. So in APA, it is called a reference page instead of a works cited page. But guess what? They do the same thing. You list all of your sources in alphabetical order. You have hanging indents just the way you normally do. So instead of works cited being at the top of the page, you would have references. And then you would give the complete bibliographic citation. The author's name is a little bit different in APA. You put the last name, comma, and instead of putting Renee, you would just put R period. And then you put the date, 2015 or 12 June 2015 in parentheses right behind the author's last name. So it mirrors what you would do inside the paper. One other main difference for APA is that all internet sources have the URL at the very end. So there's some great tools for you to use to help you create your APA reference page. I would recommend that if you are using Google Docs to use the EasyBib add-on that is in Google Docs and make sure that it's set for APA and the latest edition that there is. PurdueOwl is a great reference to go back and look at to see if your information is in the correct order. You can use Son of Citation Machine or other generators to make sure you get in the right order. Always refer back to your book. Computers are great to help you create these lists. One thing that most of them will not do is most of them will not put them in alphabetical order for you. They put them in the order that you entered them in, so points will be deducted for that. Also, humans created these citation generators, and so mistakes are made. So make sure that you go back and look at your book to make sure they are correct. APA is not that much different. There's a few little tweaks here and there, but I am confident that if you use the resources available, both in your textbook, online, and in this PowerPoint, that you will have no problem being able to create proper citations for APA. If you have any questions, please let me know.